Hello and welcome back to my channel. My super drug order has arrived. Da, 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 da. This is what I'm testing out today. As you can probably tell by the title, or not, I don't know. These are Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation. Oh, and they have that thingy on them. Oh, that's going to be fun to take off. I'm super excited for these because we all know this L'Oreal stick foundation was a total flop. And I'm hoping that these will be good. So I'm not even going to ramble too much about them. I'm just going to get started and I'm going to wear it for a few hours and see how it lasts. Revolution claims that it's like the same shade as the concealers, and the shade that I use for the concealer is C2, which means that F2 should be a perfect match for me. I also got F10 to contour with. As always, I have already put moisturizer on my face, and oh yes, I'm gonna go straight in. I like the packaging, it looks very sleek. Not the makeup brand sleek, it just looks sleek. How much is in here? Oh god, come on. I can't take it off, so I can't tell you how much is in here. Doesn't seem that bad, but I just want to put it on. So I'm gonna put it on my face. Oh. Oh. It's waxy, but it's not as bad as the L'Oreal one. I'm gonna bounce it in. Oh. It's a little bit waxy, but I think it's a lot more pigmented in comparison to the L'Oreal one, which is good. Feels quite heavy, but it is a sick foundation. I like it so far. I wanted to use a brush on the other side, but I don't think I'm going to. I like the finish of the complexion sponge. You can tell how warm it gets. So far it feels fairly heavy on the face, but it is full coverage. It does feel quite oily, so it's probably not going to last that long on my face. I will have to powder it. Now I'm going to take F10. Might be a bit warm. Yeah, it blends quite nicely. You can see how much I've creased. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what I look like. I don't think it looks that bad. Kind of like the coverage. I don't think I'm even going to put concealer on. But let me powder this in, because last time it didn't look bad, but once I powdered it in, it was awful. I'm going to start with my under eye first. Ooh. Powders really nicely. And I'm actually going to use my complexion sponge to powder this in. You'll know if you've watched my channel that I don't like to powder, but sometimes with some foundations you do have to. This one you have to. It doesn't set, basically. I really like it. It has powdered really nicely. Didn't settle anywhere, which is actually kind of surprising. But it does feel I can tell I'm wearing foundation. I can deal with that. There's this side. It's actually quite, like I said, quite full coverage. I definitely have foundations that are worse, but I'm worried I will crease quite quickly, and it's probably not going to last very long on my face because I'm very oily, and it's a semi-oily foundation itself. So yeah, let me do the rest of my makeup, go for my driving lesson, and I'll be back in 2-3 hours to have a check-in. So guys, we have some issues. It has been 2.5 hours since I have put this foundation on, and wherever I touched it on my nose, it has smeared. Actually, let me zoom it in to show you. Just ignore this crusty little thing. I came back from a driving lesson, so I don't look the best. Yeah, whenever I touched my nose, it has smeared a little bit. So what I'm going to do is try and blend this in a little. Around my nostrils it has collected, but I do have quite deep like nostril lines, so I'm not surprised, to be fair. Trying to fix it a little bit. Doesn't look that bad. The forehead, surprisingly, isn't as oily. To be fair, and nowhere is oily, like to the point where I'm like, oh god, it looks awful, apart from that nose. But it has also collected under my eyes. I'm gonna use a sponge so you can see, even though I powdered, it has collected in my lines there. And the main issue that I'm having is that it creased on my lid as well. But this only means that if I ever want to use this foundation, I just can't prime my lids with it. So after 2.5 hours, I don't think it's that bad at all. Apart from those little, you know, line just collecting. If you have deep smile lines, you probably would end up with some foundation collecting in those. Overall, I think you could just fix it by powdering a little bit more than I did. I kind of do like that, and it is a decent coverage foundation. It doesn't look too cakey, but you can definitely feel it on your face. Now it's kind of warmed up, it doesn't feel as heavy. Yeah, I'm gonna do next check-in and further check-ins on my phone, like vlog style. It's getting really grey outside. It's very grey outside today in general, so this camera, the main camera, will just not work for the check-ins, so I hope you don't mind that. Like it so far, still not bad. Hello and welcome back to my bathroom. This is going to be quite hard for me because I'm holding the phone and I'm looking in my reflection as well. It has been 4.5 hours, so quite a lot. I would like to think it's about halfway of what I'm thinking of doing, and you can see a lot more changes now. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's falling apart in this area. It has creased under my eye again, and on my lids. So around that region, this foundation is just not managing. I've got a bit of food on my face. Great. But overall, everywhere else, it actually doesn't look that bad. I've lost a little bit of coverage around here, But my forehead is creasing, but it's not as oily as I thought it would be. Yeah, around my nose just doesn't look great, and my eyes just look terrible. Awful, actually. So like around here is pretty bad. Around this area. This is like proper close and personal. But I wanted you to see what it looks like. I wanted you to see what I see. If I push my finger everywhere, it will disturb it. So it is kind of falling apart. I don't think I will wear it for more than 6, maybe 7 hours. Maybe I'll push till 8. To 8 hours wear, but it's not gonna look great. At 4.5 hour mark, to be fair, even at 2.5 hour mark, it didn't look the best. As a foundation, I think it's a bit echoey, so I'm gonna leave. Overall, as just a foundation, it might work. You would definitely need a different concealer, a bit more matte, maybe with the concealer define just under the eyes would look great. I think I'm going to test that out and just update you in a different video. Overall though, the foundation isn't bad, it's just around those crease areas that it does collect. So yes. Actually 4 hours and 45 minutes, almost 5 hours. So yeah, I don't seem to be like too greasy, but obviously I don't look matte anymore. I'm just a little bit more creasy everywhere and it's falling apart. Am I just trying to like convince myself that it isn't bad? Because I have said it quite like a few times already. Okay, last check-in. Again, I'm in my bathroom because it's just easier for me to see. My eyes look a bit red, teeth were there. I wasn't crying or anything, I just look a bit tired now. This is not doing me any favours. Overall though, the foundation, like on my forehead, on my cheeks, it has worn off a little bit. It's just the eyes look awful, and that has been an issue since the very beginning. I'm actually considering refilming this video, but this was my first impression. This was my first ever like application. This is how I would put it on, even if I wasn't recording. I would put it on like this in real life without filming it, and then come to the same conclusion as I am now, which is basically applying the foundation all over the face because it works great on the face. Just avoid the eye area and maybe the nose area, and just put concealer instead of the foundation, because overall I did forget to mention, at the 8 hour mark. It's not super long lasting, but it does look kind of nice on the skin. If you have less oilier skin, this would probably work really, really nicely. It is full coverage, and to be fair, I got shiny a little bit at the 4 or 5 hour mark. I think it was 5 hour mark, but I didn't get any more oily, I think. It's just those areas, the eyes have creased so much. The nose has rubbed off, but I do kind of do this a lot, so that might have been the reason. It might have been me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Yeah, not a bad foundation. Not a bad foundation. I'm definitely trying it again. Bye.